What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video, another quick take. I got my main man, my partner, my brother here.
Denzel even calls me the most charismatic man. So thank you for having me again, bro.
My man. So we got an article courtesy of FoxNews.com, which says Kevin Costner takes the stand in custody court battle after day of tears and hurled insults. The article goes on to say that Kevin Costner took the stand Friday in his ongoing divorce battle with estranged wife, Christine Baumgartner. Baumgartner's legal team began questioning Costner specifically about his finances and his total expenses for himself and the couple's 3 children. It says Thursday's court hearing saw Baumgartner break down in tears while Costner's legal team threw insults and surprise court documents filed that same morning. The Yellowstone actors' legal team accused Baumgartner of a relentless jihad against Costner's character in the documents obtained by Fox News Digital. It says Christine's relentless jihad against Kevin's character adds a level of animosity to this proceeding that is wholly unnecessary and meant to distract from the intellectual exercise at hand. Baumgartner formally requested a judge set a new monthly child support payment of $161,000 on Thursday amid the ongoing divorce proceedings. The new number is $31,837 more than the original set amount of $129,755. Costner's legal team also accused Baumgartner of receiving $20,000 from a boyfriend in the new court documents. However, Baumgartner revealed she had received the $20,000 from Joshua Connor in court Thursday. And a couple more things. It said on the stand, Baumgartner said Connor is a longtime friend of 7 or 8 years. When Baumgartner's attorney, John Rydell, asked, "Is he your boyfriend?" she said no. And I also just want to read something that she said in court. And this is from the HuffPost. And it says, Baumgartner is asking for $161,000 per month. Her attorney, John Rydell, argued that the children's financially comfortable lifestyle is in their DNA at this point. In their DNA or hers. Anyway, bruh, what are your thoughts on this whole situation? Because I think, yeah, you were the one that brought this to my attention.
Yep. And the reason why I brought it up is because 2 things. The Holly Berry thing that happened last week that came out, that she was ordered to pay her ex-husband, I think it was $8,000 a month, right?
Yep.
Now, yeah. I know Kevin Costner. I think Holly Berry is probably a little more famous name. And look at what she had to pay her ex-husband, $8,000. Now his ex-wife is being greedy, and the reason why I want to talk about this was not so much about the amount, but the fact of marriage, right? A marriage is much more about a business contract than it's about love, right? Hence why when we hear about divorce, it's not about how much I love the person, it's about how much money or assets I want, right? His ex-wife is being greedy, and this is the problem with marriages, right? And I think his ex-wife is another one of those women who are probably looking for an extra handout, not for the children, because let's keep it clear. She's not asking for the rates for the children. I don't think any child needs 120, whatever the number is, 130.
He wants $161,000.
What is she doing that within a month for a couple kids who are under the age of, I'm assuming they're under the age of 10. What do they need all that money for? I mean, come on. I mean, a full year at a private school is, I'm guessing 50, 60,000 maybe, and you're getting double that a month. Come on, this is greed, and this is why for me. This is the problem with marriages right now. A lot of people don't want to get married, especially men. Look at what's happening. Tyrese just did a whole. We touched on him before. Tyrese did a whole piece about talking like, yo, I'm already paying this much money. Why do you want more? And why do the court system keep allowing this? And this is why much more people aren't going to get married, because of stuff like this.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about this sort of thing several times on the channel, and it's just one of those things where every single time I hear about these stories, it just makes me want to get married less and less, because it just seems that at the end of the marriage rabbit hole, lies lots and lots of legal issues and emotional drama and turmoil that, I could honestly say I could do without. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now it just doesn't seem fair because look at it this way. And like you said earlier, Halle Berry was just going through the same thing with her ex-husband, and she only has to pay him $8,000 a month. And she's a multimillionaire. Now, I'm not saying she's freaking Bill Gates, but this is a wealthy woman we're talking about with, I'm pretty
Right.
sure, a reasonable $1 million income. Now, you got Kevin Costner. Now, I'm not as familiar with Kevin Costner beyond The Bodyguard, which is the movie that he did with Whitney Houston back in the 90s. And even then, I didn't really like that movie.
And he was Man of Steel, Henry Cavill's dad.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So, but look at him. He's literally paying like quadruple that freaking amount, if not more than that. $161,000 a month. And this is where I feel like the lines are blurred between men and women in the legal system because women are able to weaponize the legal system against men more so than the other way around. Now, if I was in Kevin Costner's position, I would just say flat out, look, listen, these are my kids too. So if you are not able to take care of our kids the right way, or if you can't afford to do it, then I'll take full custody of the kids and I'll just do it myself. You know what I'm saying? If I'm living in a $145 million Santa Barbara home like he is, and according to what it says in her legal filing as obtained by People on Saturday, Baumgartner stated that forensics has determined Costner's average cash flow available for support for the 2-year period of 2021 and 2022 was $19.2 million per year. So that means he makes $1.6 million per month. That's plenty enough money for me to take care of my 3 kids myself. So I don't have to go through this. You get what I'm saying? So I could just tell the courts, hey, well, listen, I'm willing to have full custody of the children because it says their age is 16, 14, and 13 years old. How much could they really cost at that age? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right. And, I could get a nanny, somebody where if I'm away from home, they could help, me, do certain things or watch over the kids or whatever it is and make sure that they're in school, they're doing their homework, they have everything that they need, to do what they got to do and be successful as teenagers. If she can't do it, you don't have to be in the picture. You get what I'm saying? I mean, that's just me personally. It's just like, if I'm in that situation, okay, what can we do so we can best solve this situation as quickly as possible? Because it costs money to be in court. You know what I'm saying? Being in court is not free. And I know for an absolute fact that a decent percentage of what she's asking for in child support, she's using to sustain herself financially, for herself to enjoy a certain type of lifestyle. Don't put that on the kids because they said that they're arguing that the children's financially comfortable lifestyle is in their DNA at this point. No, it's not. All right. They're crap. Teenagers. They're teenagers. They can't even get a car. They can't drive. They can't, go to a club. They can't do anything. They really can't do much. What can you really do at 13, 14, and 16 years old in society? If they were 21 or some shit, I would say, okay, cool. But then again, they're not kids anymore. So it really boils down to, how women today take advantage of the legal system. And I say for a young man like me, young adult like me, it's pretty scary. It's pretty scary. There's not a whole lot of benefits to marriage from what I can see. So if I'm basing marriage, my perception of marriage on every single quick take that we've done since 2020, yeah, there's not a lot in it for, I guess I should say, a man like Kevin Costner, a man like Tyrese, somebody like Dr. Dre, where these guys are successful. It's not like, you're an average man where you're making $50,000, a year. So obviously, yeah, pairing up your income with another woman who is making $50,000 is beneficial because you two together, now you guys are making $100,000 between the two of you. So that's the benefit. That is the monetary or financial benefit to marriage. Sure. In addition to, I guess, again, having a woman in your house, you guys are taking care of the kids. But if you are a 7-8 figure earner and shit like that, why do I need to be married for? I don't see the benefit of it. And I said 3 years ago, I'll say it again. If I don't meet a woman right now who is, supporting me on my come up and helping me get, to where I want to go in terms of my career and life goals, after I reach that, if I reach that point, or if and when I reach that point, without, or when I reach that point without a woman, I have no reason to get married whatsoever because you were not there, when I was shooting in the gym, when I was building. Because what's going to happen is you get married and you're successful, then that financially comfortable lifestyle is going to be in her DNA, like she said about the kids. But that goes for her too. So when we go our separate ways, if she's not successful herself, she's going to feel entitled to that lifestyle. And depending on the way that we, went our separate ways is going to determine how much I want to help you. But in that situation, I'll just avoid that altogether by not getting married. And I also want to say, it said the former model and handbag designer filed for divorce in May and allegedly defied her prenuptial agreement. So they had a prenuptial agreement by refusing to move out of Costner's $145 million Santa Barbara home. Who does it sound like? It sounds a lot like Tiger Woods' mistress, ex-girlfriend or some shit where she didn't want to move out either. You want to know why? Because living that lavish lifestyle was in her DNA. In her DNA. And you see how instead of just admitting that she has a lifestyle that she wants to upkeep, she's lying and she's putting it all on the kids. And this is what women do. I'm not saying all women are bad, but this is just the truth, of the situation.
Yeah, and you know what? This conversation, it lined perfectly. I was watching after I heard this story, I was watching a podcast on YouTube, popular podcast. I think it's called Entertainment Value or something. The guy, he has millions of subscribers. He do a lot of TED Talks with celebrities and stuff. But he did a panel with a bunch. It was 4 guys. One was a comedian, a big name comedian. And they was talking about marriage. The whole thing was about marriage, and they all advocated for marriage. They were saying, they was talking about statistics, how people are getting married less and less in today's society, and how they feel because they were all married, and their wives are in the crowd that, people need to get married because, it's the true epithet of love, right? But then the comedian, it's not. And then the comedian said, look, I'll be honest, look at the system right now. It's skewed for women. Marriage is set up to benefit women. And this is, like I said, this is no way shaming women or anything. But the system is skewed for women. So for a guy who comes out of college, all his debt, gets to work his dream job, makes a lot of money, all of a sudden get divorced. What happens? He loses all of it. And, he shout out that I don't think we did a quick take on that dude, that English young soccer star whose wife filed divorce after 2 years. He was 23, she was 36. She had her own money. She was a millionaire too. She filed divorce after 2 years, and what she did, she went for 80% of his assets and half his paychecks. And lo and behold, this dude put all his money and stuff in his mom's name. So when they went to court, not only did she get nothing, but she had to pay him. So this is the thing. And people say, oh, it's your kids, you shouldn't complain. No, it's not about that. It's about the principle of the fact that people are using the system because the system allows it to, oh, you know what? $100,000 a month is not attainable. I need triple that. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this is why I say to people, if you want to get married, especially if you're making, like you said, 6, 7, 8 figures, realize you need to talk about finances and prenups and all that stuff, which even then Tyrese talked about the prenup. He had one. The judge threw it out.
But completely bypassed that shit, yo. OD. Completely bypassed it. As it's almost as if he didn't make anything. So what's the purpose of drawing up a prenuptial agreement that's notarized and everything if in the court of law they could just ignore the shit? You know why? Because again, it is a gynocentric legal system that exists today. That is why. It is not fair.
Yep.
It's not fair.
And it's not fair. And this is the part I was going to say. Yes, we are hearing all these stories. Yes, it makes people demonize women. I'm not demonizing women. Are some women greedy? Absolutely. It's not their fault. Someone made in a comment, and they said this, and I 100% agree. Marriage is ruined not because of women, not because of men, but by the government. The government gets, first of all, a lot of people don't realize this, but child support payments, the government gets a piece of that. So when you're paying this money, just realize the government, out of the $160,000 that she's requested, they're getting a piece of that. So there's an incentive for them to rule in their favor. Yeah. And on top of that, it's just not skewed for men at all. That's why when we hear these stories of Halle Berry's ex-husband or Mary J. Blige's husband getting a piece of the pie, people, oh, really? what a win for men.
People attack the guy, but the crazy part is that you do have men that will, attack the man for that. Like, because I saw, a couple of guys on Twitter and Instagram saying that no man should be receiving child support or spousal support from a woman and shit like that. Again, like I personally, I don't know. I haven't read enough about that particular situation, to really know anything. And I also want to throw out there too. It says, in documents seen by Entertainment Tonight, Costner's legal team argued that his children's needs are fully met by monthly child support of $63,209, and that support greater than that is simply disguised spousal support. So his legal team knows what's up already. They know what's up. So hopefully he's got enough money to finagle his way out of that position, or like I said, get full custody of the kids, shit like that. Get a couple of nannies, get a whole team and stuff like that. So that way, my life is not, again, I'm just putting myself in his shoes. So my life is not burdened by all of these responsibilities that my wife should be helping me with. But because she decided to go her own way, I have to figure it out myself. But I'm not going to pay you, and especially she originally asked for how much? $248,000 a month. That's how much she originally asked for. The thing is, listen, and I said this before, right? I'm not sure how long they were married for it. I'm going to look this up in a minute. But me, if I'm with a woman and I really care about her and she cares about me and we supposedly love each other, right? And then let's say we've been married for, all right, so if their kids are, 13, 14, and 16, so it's safe to say they've been married for 15 to 20 years, okay? Now, what are we going through now that we haven't gone through in the last 20 years of our lives together? So if you want to go, and again, this is just what I would say to a woman, or this is how I would feel, towards a woman in that situation. If I'm successful and throughout our whole entire marriage, you have been, how should I say, enjoying the fruits of my labor. You've been experiencing a luxurious lifestyle as a result of the work that I put in. However way it is that I did it. So in this case, I'm an actor. So let's say, again, my career in entertainment, you've enjoyed the benefits and the fruits of that labor. And we're going through something. If you feel like even if we're not together, you're still entitled to my lifestyle, then you might as well get back in line and fix whatever problem it is that we're having. Because right or wrong, it's like you might as well just stay. You feel what I'm saying? Yo, if we were married for if I've been waking up and going to sleep with the same woman every single day for 15, 20 years, we're gonna work it out. We got plenty of money for a lifetime supply of couples therapy. All that shit. We can literally get all the psychotherapy that we need in order to fix that problem. Because I'd rather spend money to try to fix our issues and build a stronger marriage than to, break up and then, or divorce and then have to go through all of this. And especially if I'm an actor, like he's showing up and he's in court and his legal team said it was a good look, but this type of shit is not a good look on your, like for your public image, right? If you're an actor, would you want, TMZ, Fox News, CNN reporting on your marital problems? Your legal issues with your ex-wife, or to talk about, your new movie that's in theaters right now?
No movie.
Exactly. So this is why these are the conversations that I would have. All right, like let's say, okay, if I don't meet a woman on the come up right now and I get involved with a woman after the fact, these are the conversations that I'm going to have, especially if she seems like the type of woman that I'm not going to get tired of. You know what I'm saying? So especially if she's like a regular girl or some shit, and I'm just like, yo, like, I want us to be together, but if we're going to be together, we have to be together. I'm not gonna be doing like this. We breaking up, especially if we got kids involved. You staying. You staying. So whatever vows that we have to each other, shit, you gonna make good on the motherfuckers, because I'm not going through this shit. Dead ass. So it's either, especially if she wants to get married, because there's a lot of women out there that they really want to get married. It's like their relationship or their love for you can never be truly consummated unless they get married. And I've met plenty of girls in the last 3 years well, I don't say plenty, but I would say a handful of girls that have mentioned marriage and why it was so important to them. So I could see that that's probably the average mindset for a lot of other girls too. So if you really want to do this shit, then you have to understand that you ain't going nowhere. There's going to be rules and regulations, boundaries set for the both of us. But if we're really going through some shit, we're going to run, the rounds of couples therapy before we even get to divorce. So I'm talking about if it's irreconcilable differences, them shit's really got to be irreconcilable for us to really go our separate ways. So I can say, you know what? If we're divorcing, then I can say we exhausted all options. It couldn't be some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she would have to like cheat on me or some shit. And then if she does, she ain't getting a goddamn thing. She ain't getting a motherfucking thing. The kids are going to be staying with me. If you wanted to go be with this dude and we got 3 kids together, well, you should have thought of that when you started to lay up with freaking, Tyrone or some shit down the street or Bobby Boogaloo and shit like that. So, I feel bad for Kevin Costner. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad for a lot of successful men that go through this, but it's on guys like us to see their mistakes and to fucking learn from them. So I'm not walking through that door unless she really understands, what that door actually means. Because there ain't no takebacks at that point. Or we'll just have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? We'll literally just have a regular relationship. It's like, Errol Spence, he's not married to his new girl right now. He's got 2 daughters by one girl, and then he's got his son by a new girl. They're not married. And I'm pretty sure he most likely has the same type of mentality as I do. We don't have to get married. You know what I'm saying? And then if we do, again, I really have to feel like, yo, like you really got my back. And then it's bigger than just romance, and it's friendship and a partnership more than, you know what I'm saying? Like those things are factors. Like you can't just get married to somebody and only focus on being in love, because love is not always going to be the forefront of your minds all the fucking time. It's like when you're in a long-term relationship, you're not always, head over heels for that person. Yeah, those feelings, come when they come, but it's not always there. You get tired of each other. You guys get annoyed. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. But what's really going to sustain you through all of that is, like I said, that friendship, that partnership type of mentality. So it's like a trifecta. You have to have all of that shit. Because if those two are not there and you're only banking on quote unquote love and romance, this is how you end up like Kevin Costner and his ex-wife, pretty much. Because shit ain't a fantasy. It's not a fantasy. It's real life.
But you know what though? What you said though, although I understand what you're saying, it's still the wrong approach. Why? Because the government, no matter how big of a star, whoever you are, the government has made it so, first of all, they got rid of fault divorces. Meaning, I know 20, 30 years ago, if your wife cheated on you, you filed divorce, the court system will look on that and say, oh, you ruined the divorce, so we're going to take that in consideration. Now, most states are no fault. So your wife could find another man, cheat on you, and leave you, and she could file a divorce, and you don't need to sign those papers. Once she decides she wants to sign them, it's over.
And but that's why I said it's just best not to walk through that door. Period.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because I truly don't feel that women today, like our age and our age bracket, really understand like what it means to really be with somebody. Like, I do believe there are girls out there that do, but they're the minority. I feel like women, they get married to men for all the wrong reasons, and most women have not lived enough life, or they haven't learned from their failed relationship experiences enough to really mentally prepare themselves for what marriage actually is. Because again, it's bigger than I'm so in love with you and all that shit. Because again, like that shit comes in waves. That comes in waves. Marriage is a business decision. That's really what it is. And that's why I said it's like, would you go into business with somebody that doesn't understand you? Would you go into business with someone that does not work well with you? Like, all right, I'll give you an example. Jermell Charlo, again, it's because I'm a big boxing fan. So, I see, my favorite boxers in relationships. And one of them, Jermell Charlo, his I think they are married. I'm not sure if they like had a whole ceremony or none of that, but his girl or his wife, let me say his wife, they look like partners. Why? Because she doesn't have a job, but it's like her whole existence, in addition to her own interests, I'm sure that she has, she's his biggest supporter. So I seen a video where she's always cooking for him. When he's getting ready to go to the gym for camp, she's getting all his boxing equipment together. She's got all his supplements ready. You know, when she's at the gym with him, she's recording him at the gym. She does boxing interviews. They ask her stuff. Then she be riding for him. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like she is not only his wife, I'm pretty sure she is his friend, and she is his partner. So if nothing else, I don't think Jermell Charlo has any doubt in his mind that his girlfriend, his wife, has his best interest at heart. That's how shit like that lasts. I'll be seeing her in the gym training with him, hitting the heavy bag and shit like that. And I'm like, yo, I want something like that. That's what I want.
But,
so she's like a Swiss Army knife. She's good for different things, not just sex, not just going on dates, not just romance, not just cuddling up, but the practical things too. Because that's how you get to 10, 15, 20 years and stuff like that. You are going to have problems, but there's that underlining of understanding, of friendship, partnership. That's what you need. Because those types of women, if shit don't work out, they're still going to be on your side. Even if shit don't work out. Those are the types of women that men like us need. It's not the chicks that, oh, we divorced, gimme. No, a girl like that is going to say, okay, I have my own life with or without you, but the main focus is the kids. So if all the kids need is $63,000 a month, I'm fine with it. If that's what they need, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to ask for double that freaking amount because I know I need some too. Real women, real wives out there, they're not like that. And I'm pretty sure if there was a woman that was like in a marriage of 25, let's say 20 plus 25 years or so, some shit, she would agree with what I'm saying. Or Charlo's wife, I'm pretty sure she was on here, she would agree with what I'm saying.
But you know what?
It's so much bigger than love. It's so much bigger than love.
And you know what? You made a good point. But the only thing I would say too, even then, like a Shane Mosley, he was married to his wife for what, 20 years? She got his championships and his divorce. So it really goes to show. Yeah. Look up Shane Mosley.
Yeah,
when he got divorced,
right
his wife got a lot of money, the house, and some of his championships because they saw that she was an equal partner. And even though she wasn't fighting, even though she wasn't training, she got some of his championships. That's the thing. When it comes to marriage, people look at it through a rose-colored lens of love. And don't get me wrong, love is a strong thing. I understand it. I'm not here to tell anybody not to get married or not. But realize, for men, regardless how you go into it, you can get a girl who's been with you since middle school, whatever the case may be. Yeah, 50 years old. If she feel like she got wronged at any point, or even if she's greedy, because people change over time. She might be what I'm not wishing any ill will on him, but his wife could, he might look at another girl wrong. She like, oh, all right, when we get divorced, I'm taking him to the cleanest. So people need to realize when it comes to marriage, the government don't care. At the end of the day, they're going to get their piece of the pie, and they're going to look out for the best interests of them and the children.
She cheated on him.
I feel like,
yeah, she cheated on him. She had basically like 2 kids that he knew nothing about, and she was like basically taking secret trips just to be with this whole other guy that Shane Mosley knew nothing about. But where he went wrong is this woman is not even black, so he should have seen that shit coming. He should have seen that shit coming.
You're right, but that's the thing with marriage. You never know. Your partner can start off the biggest supporter, and then things turn sour because love doesn't always. Marriage is hard work. A lot of people go through marriages who's been, married for 50 years, to 30, 40, 50 years. I was talking to Nally's grandfather, Pat, the other day, and he was telling me, they've been married for, 61 years. And he's told me it's been a lot of hard work. And that's someone who's in the 80s and can talk about marriage. Now, reality of the situation nowadays, hookup culture and all that stuff has ruined it. So now people are looking at for the best interest of themselves. Like, for instance, what's his name? The boxer you talking about? I'm blanking on it. No, not him. The one you was talking about.
Oh, Jermell Charlo.
Yeah, his girl in the gym with him and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. She don't have a job though. So if they get divorced and she's mad, she's taking the government is going to clean this man out.
I don't see. The reason why I don't see that happening is, and I think I said this in one of our quick takes. I think we were talking about somebody, And I was saying that usually girls like that are going to stay because they know they can't go and find anything better. So it'd be easier for them to just do everything that their man says, because if they divorce, yeah, sure, they might can get some money, but their life is not going to be the same outside of that. That's exactly why you see Kevin Costner's ex-wife fighting so hard, because her life is not the same. Right now, she's leasing a $40,000 house, but she just moved out of $145 million. That's why she's fussing, because she's like, yo, $63K, okay, cool, but I know with the private school that they probably go to and all this and that, there's not going to be a whole lot left for me. So this is why she's asking for double, because even though she can get some money, the lifestyle is not going to be the same. So Charlo's wife, she's not, I don't see a woman like that going anywhere, because he's the best that she can get, especially for the type of lifestyle that she is getting. Why would a girl like that be stupid enough to cheat and then leave? And then, okay, so let's say Shane Mosley, what type of life is she living right now? I'm pretty sure it ain't the same when she was with Shane. I'm pretty sure it's not. So women like that are stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure if I found her Facebook and I were to just make a comparison between her life before the divorce and after, it don't even measure up. So that's why you see them asking for, so much money. So because to me, my thing is this too. We can't, and I know that the divorce rate has always been at 40%, like literally 40, between like the mid 40s, 40% and up since the 90s. But we can't say that the other 60% don't work. And clearly, from what it seems with, like I said, Charlo, for instance, it looks to me like he got a real one. To me, it looks like I'd be surprised if he were to be, running into that type of issues based on what I've seen her character to be. His twin brother, he was going through this same type of shit with they're back together now, but she went on camera saying that he would never fight again, that he was going to lose his house, his cars, all of that shit. She was, cursing in the middle of the street in front of the kids and all that stuff. So, but with somebody like her, I actually predicted that, because you know what's funny? Jermel was saying that she was the type of girl to be doing shit like that 2 years ago. And I used to see that, and I was like, I was like, yeah, okay, I kind of see where this is going, because, and what's funny, Jermel Charlo's wife beat the shit out of Jamal Charlo's wife at the at Spence Crawford. They literally fought. That's what I'm saying. Like, you see Jermel's wife be riding for him. You see that shit. She's a soldier on his army, on his team. I can't say the same about, Jamal Charlo's wife, but again, that is really based on the woman that you're with. You can't really predict it, but at the same time, it really goes as to, in a relationship, what you see her character to be over time, how you see she shakes, how she handles conflict, how she responds to certain things, what her respect is looking like, what her loyalty is looking like. How does she feel about you relative to maybe the other options that is obviously available to her? Because your girl could be with you, but then she could also be with other motherfuckers. But again, it depends on, how she views you and what she wants out of a relationship relative to those options. So me personally, I don't see that happening. That's like, let's say, Will and Jada. You don't think enough has happened between them that would crumble the average relationship between men and women? They've been through mad shit. But you know what is underlining that relationship? Friendship and partnership. That is exactly why they've been married for 25, almost 30 years. Because friendship, if nothing else, it's like, yo, all right, well, if we take the sex, the hugs and the kisses out of the equation, I mean, could we even coexist? Could we even get along? And for a lot of couples, that's not the case. That is not the case. You take all that shit away, you don't even get along with that person. In fact, sometimes intimacy and affection is the only bridge between people. And I know that to be true. So when you have those things, that's the how should I say, the secret sauce to real fucking relationships that last. So clearly you see Kevin Costner, they're not friends, because if she was friends with me, I would not be in court fighting with you about how much these kids need, because I got the lawyers. We ran the logistics. $63,000 a month is what they need for school, housing, food, all of that, and miscellaneous, expenses that they want. That is plenty. That is enough. You think a friend would be doing this? Because they were not friends. Love, romance, intimacy was the gap. And once that shit was closed, there's the disconnect. there's no connection there. But Will and Jada got it. People can laugh all that they want, but how many couples actually make it to that point? Not a lot. Not a lot. Most people are only married for up to 5 years and then they fucking divorce, usually. So that's what I'm saying. So we can't really project, like the pessimism onto other relationships. But again, like I said, based on what I see, is like I know a real one when I look at it. And you don't find a lot of girls that are literally your fucking number one fan, legit, on all sides of the spectrum, not just in the bedroom, not just when you guys are in Target, going shopping, holding hands and shit like that. Talking about real shit, even when you're going through something, even when you take a loss, she was there. She was there when he took a fucking loss. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's why I said I'm not here to tell people whether to get married or not, because people want to make their own choice. But look at it. A lot of people get married for business. Beyonce and Jay-Z. Look how much money they've made together. And I'm sure a lot of marriages stay together because of business. But on the flip side, I'm just saying, any man listening, especially if you're a high earner, realize even though there's 40%, whatever the case may be, people getting divorced, 60% more people staying together. Just realize, are you willing to gamble, especially when it comes to the government? If that opportunity, if that divorce comes, are you comfortable with the reality of the situation? You're going to get railroaded. You're going to be taken to the cleaners. I don't care who you are. So that's all I'm saying. That's the thing. The government, I'm not blaming women. I'm not over here trying to bash women. The government is the people that ruin marriages, because now people look at it like, hey, if I get into this marriage, I'm going to lose all what I have.
Right. But the moral of the story is find you a woman that even in conflict, she still has your best interest. That's the thing. It's like, even if we disagree, do I still have your best interest anyway? That's what separates like true friends and true girlfriends from the fake motherfuckers, from the fair weather ones. That's what I'm saying. And those are, they're the minority of women, and they're becoming unicorns now. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find a chick like that unless you have your shit together. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, what are your thoughts? Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.